Hi, this is Rich. Welcome back. I just finished week 55 on Wegovy, just a little bit more than a year. So far, so great. I'm currently using the Wegovy 1.7 milligram dose, which is there's only one higher, it goes to 2.4, but I think 1.7 and 2.4 are both considered maximum doses. So you don't have to go up if you don't want to, but you have one more choice if you're able to, or if you want to go up. So far, so great. Everything's going pretty well. I haven't had any negative side effects. I've never had any negative side effects on the drug. Um, and even going up in dosage, really nothing. So let's talk about exercise. So last week I talked about maybe getting a recumbent bike or something like that. And, I don't want to just get another piece of equipment to put in my house where I don't use it and you just start putting clothes or coats on top of it. So I thought what I would do is just start getting more exercise doing some chores. And I'm going to take you to our compost site today. So I had my driveway redone and I put in a little pad in the front of my house for a bench. And so I put the bench right next to some bushes and left it there until they were done. And so now it is just completely overgrown. I'm taking the bench out and I'm going to go ahead and cut back the bush, and then I'm going to take the um, leaves and stems and branches to the compost site. Hope you have a good time with me. So as you can see, there's a nice little pad right next to the front door where I'm going to put that bench. Look at the bench. You can barely see it. It's on the left side of the screen. You can barely see the bench is covered. The bushes have grown right into it. So I'm going to start pulling it out and cutting it back. And you can see as I'm doing this that I'm loading it into the back of my SUV. Now, I did some things that I followed my dad's advice, who's not with us anymore. But he always said when you're stacking stuff, put it in nice, and you'll really benefit from stacking it nicely and putting it in orderly. And I always thought it was the dumbest thing in the world. Like, I couldn't believe that he was making me do that. But it really pays off at the end. Watch when I have to unload. So I'm just adding things piece by piece. Of course, it's raining today, so I'm doing this in the rain, which was great. I don't know about you, but I like to not do this when it's 95 degrees outside. I'd rather do it when it's 70 or 75 and a little bit of a sprinkle. So that's what I did is I just kept loading it in. I put a nice tarp down first, or I put a tarp down first, and I kept the compartment small, so I didn't lay down the seats or anything like that, which allowed me to just pack everything in. Now, look what happens when I have to unload. And I wish I had two cameras, or I wish I had a helper, because it's a little hard to see. But what I did is I, holding the camera in one hand, I grabbed the tarp in the front end with my other hand. I backed up right to where I want the leaves and the stuff to go, and I pulled it out with one hand, just one hand. It was really simple. And then I just picked up the tarp and threw it back in my vehicle, and away I went. It's so simple. And by the way, if you've never been to a compost site, you gotta check it out. It's actually kind of fun. And there's lots there's just a ton of grass clippings and leaves and branches and stuff like that there. Anyhow, let's talk about something more fun. I took a test at work and I realized that I only know 25 of the 26 letters. I only know 25 of the 26 letters. I don't know why. You didn't see that coming a mile away. Let's uh let's do something. Yesterday was July 4th, so let's talk about Wimbledon. Wimbledon is the tennis tournament going on right now, one of the majors. There is a new sport, and I'm not talking about pickleball, but there's a new sport called quiet tennis. A new sport called quiet tennis. It's just like tennis without the racket. Sorry. Too bad. You waited for it. All right, let's talk about how I did this week. So this week was another fairly decent week. I had a pretty easy time of it. I'm not really that hungry anymore. In fact, I'm not hungry anymore, at least for now. We'll see if I adjust to this new dosage, but I'm able to control it. I'm actually trying to eat more protein, which is causing me to eat more than I typically have been eating in the past. So I'm not losing weight as fast as I think I might have otherwise because I was eating less. I'm trying to eat more protein. So I lost another pound this week. That brings me to a total of 88 pounds down. I'll see you next week.